welcome to Dynamite the Light, ladies and gentlemen. A show that was a little too much. I know people are gonna say, "What? What are you talking about?" Let's put this into context. There are points where it's good to put a lot of content into one show, and then there's a point of putting too much into a show that you can't fully digest it. I believe this show right now is in that category where there was so much content. So much, I don't think they got a lot accomplished. It was good to see this much content, but it does not mean that all this content will help the show going forward, at least the next couple of episodes. That's just me. Now, I'm hoping you guys will tell me your feelings about it. I'm not going to cover all of this because there are several questions about some of this stuff that I think should be answered in the next couple of episodes. So if I do talk about them, they'll be very brief. Counting if I don't forget and actually talk about them, I do that. Sometimes I just think I should just cover it. It's just a thing. The opening was Private Party and Matt Hardy versus... I would have thought they would have put this in the middle of the show with Adam Page with the Dark Order of Reynolds and Silver. I would have thought this would be in the middle of the show, not the opening. I was actually quite surprised about that. I really was. I'm really surprised they would go in that position with Hangman Page. Now, it was not about the match. The match was okay for a 6-man tag. It wasn't 100% trash, and it wasn't bad. And you could see that there were points that Hangman Page was really enjoying himself, working with Silver and working with Reynolds, still trying to convince him to join Dark Order. But in the end, Private Party won, and Matt Hardy, acting like the boss, wanted the pin, and he got the pin. I don't really know how to feel about this. Are they turning Matt into the broken one again? Are they going in a different direction with his broken brilliance? I don't know. This is a big question. I'm not sure where to go with this. Now, let's get into the Cody versus Angelico match. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is that it finally happened. You see them on my face. I do believe I got a shot of both Cody and Brandy. They're having a baby. I know the Slick Daddy was thinking about this for quite a while, thinking, when is that gorgeous woman going to get a baby in the bonnet? And now she is. And that, in a sense, is a double good win for me personally. I'm happy to see they're going to have a family. No problem. But that also means that if she's not able to go in the ring now, she will eventually stop going in the ring and she will be in the back. Either she'll be a manager again or she won't be coming out at all, which is a double win for me. I'm not against Brandy. I do believe there are certain points when Brandy could really do something great. When she's in the right frame of context, when someone books her properly. And no one's really booked her properly. She's been able to have creative freedom. Not freedom. You know the reason I'm botching is because with her, she's had a lot of creative freedom to do what she wants. Look what happened to Nightmare Family. And when it came to the Nightmare Collective, when she was a part of that, it didn't work out. When it came to the Collective, it didn't work. She tried something different. She tried to look sexy and alluring and all that mess, and it didn't work. So that's her booking herself. That's how I believe it was. So unless someone books for her, she just can't do it. So now seeing her in a capacity of a managerial role, I'm botching managerial, she may be alright counting how they book her. Because from now on, she just can't wrestle. Good. Now, Cody in that match, well, I gotta say this was the best match for me personally. It was. Because this match was more of a well-rounded type of match. Yes, Angelico did do a lot of high flying to a certain extent, but it was more mat based and more physicality and more strategy. I like it when you have mat based wrestling, some high flying, and some high impact. I like to see that all together in a story. We didn't get a story much, but we did get some mat based wrestling, some high flying, not much, and some high impact, a lot of high impact. That was the best match for me personally in its construction. Cody getting really pissed off that he could not out-wrestle Angelico. In the end, Cody did win. I wasn't surprised that Cody won this. I wasn't surprised. Now, Team Taz did come out. And Taz is saying, oh, Cody, I'm so happy for you. You're going to be a daddy. But that's not going to change the fact that not only did my boys whoop your ass, they whooped the TNT title champion's ass, and he's in my face. We're going to take your ass out. So at that moment, Sting comes out. He's in my face. Well, I am glad that they're not really specifically saying what Sting's supposed to do. And seeing that he's focusing more on Darby Allin, that makes me happy. It's not about Cody directly, but Cody is involved in some form or fashion. And it's going to be eventually about Darby dealing with a Sting in some form of capacity. Of course, this also means there might be a six-man tag between Darby. This show pissed me off because there was a lot of tag team wrestling that went a little too far. It did. But seeing that Darby Allin, Sting, and Cody will eventually be in a tag match, it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. The question is when. And will Sting be interacting more with Darby Allin? Will there be any video packages with him and Darby Allin together? Look, for me personally, looking at Darby Allin and looking at Sting, it looks like Darby is like Sting's kid. Not because he's a small guy. It's kind of making you think Darby Allin is like Sting's son. And I think maybe Sting is seeing him that way. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Miro had a little interview. And so did the Best Friends. And that was after the match. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because they're finally coming to the point where they're going to do the marriage between Kip Sabian and Penelope Forbes. Finally, it's going to happen. And we're finally going to get this taken care of. It needed to be taken care of. It had to be done. And I'm glad it happened. Glad it's going to happen. Now, why? Why did we have so much tag team wrestling? The 12-man tag. Of course, they couldn't have a 14-man tag because, unfortunately, Wardlow was not able to be there. It was something about his family, I believe that's what they said. But with Wardlow not there, I really didn't like this match. Not because it was 100% trash. It was just too many targets to watch. And worse yet, you could not see it all. Look, a normal tag is okay. 6-man tag is stretching it. 8-man tag is a little too much. But as long as you make sure that you have a story and a context behind it, fine. But a 12-man tag, it is nothing but a clusterfuck for me personally. There was too many spots. Everybody wanted to get their spot in. There was no real... It was not necessary to do a 12-man tag. It would have been better if it had been a brawl. And they had a video package and a segment than actually having a match. It just felt too much. In the end, the Inner Circle, I believe, won this match. Was it the Inner Circle that won? Yes, the Inner Circle won, and it was about... And I gotta talk about the interview with the Inner Circle after this. But it was MJF who got the pin. For me personally, I hope they don't do these 12 or 14 matches often. But I'm sure they are. Now, when it comes to the Inner Circle and their interview, and now the New York Times gives MJF an award for his work with Chris and they're singing together. That made me feel good. You see them on my face. But then Chris wants to make sure he has the credit that he brought everything together, that he did it. And MJF is saying, yeah, you did it. I'm very proud and I love these guys. This is not about me, it's about them. And you can see that Chris realizes he's getting his ass kissed. And this is still about MJF. I don't know how far they're going to go because we do know that eventually Chris is leaving to go work with Fonzie again. So the question is, how long will it be before he leaves? And Brian Pillman Jr. looked good, and Sammy Guevara looked good. I am very interested in seeing how far they're going to go with Brian Pillman Jr. because he did start the match. SCU versus the Acclaimed. No. They are trying to bite off of John Cena, the Acclaimed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not into them. Their rapping is not that good. Their wrestling is okay, but their rapping is not that good. It's like an early version of John Cena that could... John Cena raps better than those guys did. It was crap. Hell, Kaz, he didn't rap very good, but it sounded better than they did. It just, either they were when the guy that was doing it was nervous, or it just doesn't work for them. For me personally, I don't think it works for them. In the end, the Acclaimed won by cheating because they used the Bluetooth boombox onto Christopher Daniels did get whacked in the head. That did happen. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know what's going on with him and Kaz. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Now, the tag match of Diamante and Ivelisse versus Deeps and Big Swole. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't watch it for very long because when it came down to it, Big Swole, I like Big Swole, but she's still very green. And they let her have a lot of offense in this match. And Selena Deeps, yes, she did really good. Selena Deeps is the best wrestler there. But here's the thing. Where does this lead for the NWA title? Where does this lead for the NWA championship in any type of storyline? It's just, they need a little bit more. I know that this is not NWA, this is AEW, but you need something for Deeps. And then you had Thunder Rosa letting her feelings be known about Britt Baker and how she says she's not belonging here when she does. And then Britt Baker whoops her ass while she's talking. And that's due to Rebel helping her. I'm still not fond of Britt Baker and her character. It sucks for me personally. But I'm not against the feud. The feud is not bad. This is about someone from the outside trying to get in. And this is a person who's in the inside trying to say that she means something when everyone doesn't believe she means anything. She's trying to make herself something, and the other one is something and is trying to come in, and they're clashing. I don't mind it. I don't. That was okay for me personally. And we did see Nia Rose. We did see Red Velvet come out as well. And we'll probably have something going on with them next week. Who knows? FTR had their moment. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but they did have their moment. They were pissed. And let's see. Let's do the final thing. This is Kenny versus Joey Dennett. It's in my face. What was this? What was this? A no DQ match where if Joey Janela wins, he gets a title shot? Why? They did this last week with the Bucks. I don't want to see this being done more often with now Kenny Omega. What about the ranking system? What's going on with the ranking system? Look, the Acclaim has won 7 matches, and now they're going up against the Bucks. They're giving them a shot when... What about the ranking system? Are they in line? Or are they just giving a shot? I don't like it. Was the match okay? It was alright. In the end, the match wasn't bad. Going through the table was nasty. Seeing Joey Janela's leg land straight onto Kenny's face. It wasn't like he landed near his head. He landed his entire leg, his thickest part of the leg, right here in the face. That had to hurt. I don't care how tough Kenny is. That mess had to hurt. But Kenny won. Pac comes out. And I know I could talk about Kingston. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving it. Because I want to see where they're going to go with that later. But you got Pac coming out. saying to Kenny, me and you still got some unfinished business. And I thought, oh, this is about them finally dealing with each other now that Kenny has the title now. No. He's trying to put over his friend Ray because Ray could not participate in the tournament anymore because he got hurt. Now next week with Tony, you're going to have Ray dealing with Kenny. I'm hoping this leads to Kenny dealing with Pac, because I do believe Pac is very interesting. And also, seeing Pac nose to nose with Lance Archer is very interesting. But I don't know, I don't want to see that unless it's a pay-per-view. I'm just saying. Let's break this down quickly and efficiently. Was this a good show? It was okay. Was it a clusterfuck of overbooking the matches? Yes. Way too many matches. Way too many matches. They could have reduced the matches and did more story. I just do not agree with them overbooking. We got regular tag matches. Then we got a 6-man tag. Then we got a 12-man tag. That is too much. And everyone had to get their spots in when it wasn't always necessary. Sometimes it's better you don't always put your spots in. Let someone shine. It doesn't have to be everyone shining. It takes away how important these type of matches are. But that's just me. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.